So far in the masterclass course, we have extracted reusable components using props and emits and moved some functions into utility files. We have also used Pinia for global state management. But what about extracting stateful code that is using the composition API? For example, what if I want to extract the logic I created to handle authentication server errors from the login page to a place where I can reuse it with any other form in the application? And this is where composables are really helpful. Here is how to use them. Inside the src directory, I'll create a new directory called Composables. Inside of it, I'll create a new file. Let's name it form errors.ts. A composable is like a normal function, but we prefix it as a naming convention with use. So use form errors, and then continue writing the function. And whatever that goes inside of this composable, we can use composition API, we can create nested methods, we can do whatever we want. And then when we are done, we can return the data that we want to reach out to from outside of the composable. It will all make sense in a moment when we start extracting the logic to this composable. So back to the login page, I would like to start by extracting this state from here to the new composable right over there. But I'll rename this variable ref instead of underscore error, I'll name it server error. Then right here, I'll create a new function. Let's call it handle server error. And this function should accept the error that is coming from Superpaste. So let's set the type to auth error and import that from Superpaste. Then continue the function. And this function has only one task, which is to update this server error variable ref with the error that it got from here inside the composable. So from the login page, I will also move this part where we update the variable ref to the composable and paste it inside the handle server error function. But since we changed the variable ref to be called server error, we are going to replace the underscore error with server error. Then finally, from the composable, I would like to return the server error variable ref. And by returning reactive state from a composable like this, I'll be able to use this reactive state from anywhere I want without losing its reactivity. So Vue will still identify any changes that might happen to this reactive state. And also, I want to return the handle server error method because that's what I'm going to use from outside of the composable to update the reactive state, which is the server error variable ref. But so far, we cannot use this from anywhere because this is not an exported composable. We must export it by adding the export keyword so that I can import it from anywhere. And now this composable is ready to be used. Then inside the login page, I can import this composable up there. So import use form errors from the composables directory, or I can actually ask vite or unplugin auto import to do that for me. So vite.config.ts, let's scroll down. And in the dir's property inside the auto import options, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add to the array the path to the composables directory and say any nested file inside of it. And let's also say for the stores, any nested file in the store. And with that in place, unplugin auto import package will be able to scan the stores and the composables directories and any nested directory inside of them and auto import any exported module. So in the login page, I no longer need to import it, I can use it straight away. But composables must be called or initialized inside the script setup directly on the top level or inside the setup function. And in some cases, you can use them in lifecycle hooks, but for now, we will need to initialize them on the top level. So right here, for example, I can use const and then destruct out of the use form errors the properties that I returned. So for example, we are expecting the server error and also the handle server error. And with those here, we can easily use the handle server error right there if we got an error. And it's expecting to receive the error from Superpaste. As for the server error, instead of the underscore error that we have been using inside the template, I can highlight this and press Command and D many times until I highlight all the references of this text and then paste the server error that we get from the composable. And that's it. This way, we extracted the logic to handle server errors for authentication to a reusable composable, and then we can reuse this handle server error function or method that we returned from the composable from anywhere we are using another form, and just pass to it the error, and we will get the reactive server error. Let's test that in the browser and see if it still works. I'm currently logged out, so let's fill it with fake data and log in. And here are our errors.